Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta say it's colder in here than it is outside, but we will get through it. So, one thing I had a thought was our toys model kits, and yes and no. And but before I begin my little disclaimer, I understand how licenses work. Companies can build, make toys. Some can make model kits. Some can only make specific model kits, certain scales, Bandai, blah blah blah. But I understand how all that works. But I've always wondered why, uh, toys are not actually actual model kits at the same time because they had to produce the mold to make toy, which is basically the same way they produce to make a model kit. Now I understand. I know the purists are may may be mad at me. I understand. Model kits are specifically certain uh, tiny parts where the toys are different type of plastic, less parts, blah blah blah. But to me, it's all the same. Principles. Anyway, what started this off this week was I picked up the Ghost. This is the Micro Galaxy one. I think this is a very nice scale. It's roughly 1/72nd scale if you judge by the people here. I think this is a good size. I don't have a Ghost for the shed here, so I thought, well, this would work out real well. Plus, most of everything in here is pretty close to the 72nd scale. And I do know they have odd scales, but again, uh, I know it's a different license, but they had to make the mold. Why can't they make a kit out of it? Which is what I always thought they should. I understand the license and all that, but anyway, I figured you'd have two markets, and I know it'd be a simple build, but we will get to that in just a moment. But anyway, just a real good size and something to add. Rare I add toys to the shed, especially vehicle-wise, till they ever come out with a kit of it. But anyway, I wanted to add that and have a little topic discussion on our toys model kits. So, with that being said, I want to jump around a little bit. In the 80s, you could get He-Man model kit, which was actually the vehicles that they had in the toy line. Joe was the same way. They had three vehicles that were model kits. Those are upstairs, but if you go in like current day, for example, My Little Pony turned into a model kit. Now, again, it's got sprue runners. Again, different type of plastic, and all that, but still, a actual model kit. I know they probably market it as STEM and all that, which is fine. But anyway, you still have toys, you know, that's the model kit version, but you got the model kit, and then you would have the actual figure itself of My Little Pony. And there's other ones as well, and I couldn't find it off the top of my anywhere. I couldn't find it in the shed, but that's technically a toy. They use ABS plastic. Pegasus does, but 21st Century, they were notorious for having a toy of their planes, tanks, and figures, which were actually, and then they sold it broken down into kit form. I don't know if Pegasus does a built-up version of the V1, but this is a ABS, basically a toy. Very few parts, and I think you got to screw it together. It's been so long, but I wanted to show the 21st Century one, but they're in a special place since they don't make those anymore, and it's one of those things that some way you can get. Only way you can get a certain scale, is a toy to go, with the models. Is not consistent with model scales, but it does, does work out. Also, they make toys in the models, and the best one I can really find is Revell. Revell did cars. Now they did it's a model kit, but it's also a toy. It's and you can take it back apart if you so desire. But it's actually that's their junior line. I tried to pick up most of all that. I was a big fan. I do like odd stuff and just stuff you don't see, especially in the growing up. It was always model kits were in almost in every store, and now they're kind of not. Now they're kind of marketed as STEM, kind of build your own, do it yourself type stuff. But I think that's one of the purest forms of actual model kit in the toy. Is the Revell Junior series, and then they have toys that are model kits, and this is what I classify. These are I want not giveaways, but specialty cars, and they're toy-like, very simplistic. But that's the only way you can get certain vehicles, is getting them this way. And I don't know, I can't remember the exact name what they call them. But there is like a whole type of line of, all these type of cars, different ones, but they don't make model kits of it. They make it, hard plastic like this. And I'm like, you can take the mold. You had to make the mold for that. Why can't you make a, kit? Get you a, standard chassis, plastic kit, and just, have the different bodies. But again, I understand why it ain't done that way, but it's just, man, it's crooked. Look at that. Kind of wants to bow. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to just jump on here and talk. I always thought, they could have toys and model kits all at the same time, because they do have the, they do have the molds, which they could just sell this as a unpainted, unassembled version, and then have the toy version too. So be a win-win for everybody. And I always thought that all my life I have thought about that for marketing purposes, and for building, because sometimes you buy it and then sometimes you want just the kit so you can build it and fly it around your head if you want to, stuff like that while you're watching the show, which I have never done. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I got going on today. We're talking about our toys model kits. So that's what I got going on today. Stay tuned for next exciting episode.